Hello, Travis Daggett with the Telestai Bookkeeping Tax. Today, talking about using Google Sheets. This can be a good tool when you have a relatively small number of transactions, low transaction volume, before you move on to something like QuickBooks Online. So I'm going to go through a real scenario, and hopefully this will help you as well. So this is from a small business owner. Now I've created a sample out of it, basically, so that it's anonymous. But you can see, first of all, he has two separate sheets. He has one for outflow, in other words, expenses, and another one for income. Uh, and you'll notice on the expenses sheet, date, description, and again, I just fill these in with types of descriptions for transactions in this sort of industry, vendors. And then you can see here are the categories that would translate to classifications on Schedule C for tax purposes. And looking at the, oops, looking at the income, he has the date, the amount, a customer, and again, these are just random names, and then the type of product and the quantity here. So the first thing we're going to do is start with a brand new sheet so we can get everything in one place. So I'm going to call this sample P&L. And I'm going to go ahead and name it down here. Income statement, P&L, same thing. And I like to color these so that I can keep track of them. It's easier as I go back and forth. And then we're going to take the income first, and we're just going to select everything. We're going to copy everything, and we're going to go into our sample, and I'm going to call this income. Again, I'm going to make it a different color. So as I'm moving around, that doesn't quite stand out like I would like. Let's make it a little brighter. Yeah, okay. And I'm just going to paste it here. So now we have everything from the income sheet here on a separate tab. The other thing I like to do to make it easier to work with is take the grid lines out, and then I want just the lines in between like that. Makes it a little cleaner. Another thing that will help is to make this a dark color, my text light, a little better for readability. And then I like a different font. Yeah, it's a little cleaner. Okay. And then I want to freeze my top row. So as I'm scrolling, I don't lose my column headers. So now I have a nice clean sheet with basically with sales on here. Now I want to do the same thing with the expenses. So I'm going to go ahead and close that so I don't get confused, which is not all that hard to do sometimes, especially the older I get. Okay, so I'm going to paste the expenses in here, and I'm going to do the same thing with my view. I'm not going to show the grid lines. I'm going to create those lines. I'm going to change my font. I'm going to change my header color. Let's make this one something different. How about that? And the text color to stand out. This one's bold for some reason. Let's get rid of that. Okay. And did I freeze? Nope, didn't freeze. So we want to freeze that. Great. Okay. Let me check one thing here. Oops. That's not what I wanted to check. Okay, let me stop sharing one moment here. Okay, go back here to where I was at with the expense sheet. Okay, so now I have my income and my expense sheet separate tabs, and I'm going to start on the income statement next. Forgot to change my color here. Gotta have a cool color. All right. Okay, in the next video, I will get into how we can create the income statement from these two sheets.